Hello, 4th graders, 5th graders, and 6th graders. Today we're going to be talking about comparing and ordering numbers. You can see right here, comparing and ordering numbers means that you're going to put numbers in order from least to greatest, greatest to least, and you're going to be able to look at them and determine which one might be greater than, less than, or equal. Let's get started with some greater than or less than. The first thing you do when you have two numbers is you're going to look at the place values. So these numbers are both in the hundreds place. The greatest number is in the hundreds place. You have ones, tens, hundreds. The first thing you do is look at the greatest place value since they have the same number of digits. The greatest one is the hundreds place. So you're going to look at them both. They're obviously the same, so you can't determine yet which one is greater than or less than. So you're going to bump over 1. The next place is the tens. You're going to look at the tens and determine which one is greater, 6 or 9. Now you know that 9 is greater, so right off the bat you already know that 391 is greater than 363. I wrote a key over here to show you the greater than symbol, less than symbol, and equal. Hopefully you remember those, but I know sometimes it can be confusing. One way to remember it is to put 2 dots by the greater number. So since we determined that 391 is greater, we're going to do 2 dots and then 1 dot by the lesser number. And then you just connect them. That's how you know you have the right symbol. Let's take a look down here. The greatest digit in both is the thousands place. 7,000. They're the same, so you can't determine anything yet. You need to move 1 to the right. So you're going to bump over. They're both 6s. Can we determine anything yet? Nope. We got to move over to the tens place. So bump on over to the tens. We have a 1 and a 2. It would seem that the 2 is greater than the 1. So this number, 7,623, is greater than 7,612. So again, you're going to do 2 dots by the greater number, 1 by the lesser, and you connect them. Down here, we're going to do the same thing. This number is 9,163,210. This number is 916,321. Now you might be tempted to just look at that farthest right or the farthest left number. They're both 9s, but guess what? You can't compare those like that because this number has more digits. This number you already know is greater because it goes all the way up to the millions place. This number stops at 100,000s. This number is 6 digits. This number is 7 digits. You don't have to compare the digits. You already know that this one has more, so it's a greater number. Now down here I just gave you an easy one. 792 equals 792, so you just do an equal sign. The most important thing to remember about this is start on the left, compare, and keep moving until you can determine if one is greater or less than the other. Always count the digits to be sure that they actually have the same amount. If they don't have the same amount, then your answer is much easier to find. All right. The next thing I want to do is compare how to do numbers from least to greatest. So let me erase this, at least part of it. In your work, you're going to be given a set of numbers, and you have to determine which one is the least. You're going to have to put them in order, from least to greatest, or from greatest to least. It's very important that you pay attention to the wording, or else you'll get the answer wrong. So let's do first from least to greatest. I'm just going to give you a set of numbers. Why don't you write these down with me and see if you can determine it along with me. Let's do 6,912. Then we're going to do a semicolon so that you know this is a separate number. Let's do 6,197. And semicolon so you know it's a different different number. 6,212. Now I'm pretty sure I said least to greatest, so let's look and see which one is the least. We have to compare all of them. We know that each number is 4 digits. They all go to the thousands place. So we know right off we're going to have to start comparing the thousands place. We have a 6, a 6, and a 6. We can't determine anything yet. We need to move over to the right. We have a 9, a 1, and a 2. Ah, I made this easy for you already. So which one is the least? 9, 1, or 2? 1. So the lesser number is 6,197. So we're going to write that. 6,197. Semicolon, so that I know you're talking about a whole different number next to it. Now we've already done this one, so we can kind of cross it off. Now we need to figure out which one is next. We said that the hundreds place is a 9 over here and a 2 over here. So you know that 6,212 is next in line. 6,212. We're done with him. We only have one left. 6,912. Okay, let's check our work just to be sure. 6, 6, 6, 1, 2, 9. They are indeed in order from least to greatest. You might want to challenge yourself, especially if you're 5th or 6th, by doing some practice ones that have more digits, like say up into the millions place, because you will encounter that on your work. So, just an extra challenge for you. Now, if you are 5th or 6th grade, why don't you can go ahead and turn the video off if you want. This next part is really just for 4th graders. So 4th graders, we're still working on a number line here, so you're going to stay with me a little bit. 5th and 6th, if you want, you can challenge yourself with some greater numbers. It will be helpful for you to do that before tomorrow. All right. Let's talk about our number line up here. We have 26,000, 27,000, 28,000, 29,000. Obviously, number line starts with the lesser number and moves up to the greater number. So if I give you a set of numbers and ask you to place it on the number line, I need to know that you can do that. So I will give you a set, and then I'm going to show you how to find the right place on the number line. Let's do 27,300. Just going to do a couple. And 26,700. The first thing you need to do is look at the number line and figure out how it's organized. We have 26,000 and 27,000. In between that, you'll see that there's 10 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means that this is easily broken up for you. So you know that this first line here is going to be 26,100. The next one is going to be 26,200, 26,300, 26,400, 500, 6, 7, 8, 9, until you get to 27,000. I've broken it up into easy groups of 10. But your work might not always be like that. It might be broken up differently, so you need to pay attention to that. Let's talk about how we can figure out how to put 27,300 on the number line. We know that 27,000 starts here, so it would be impossible for 27,300 to be behind it. So we're going to have to move forward. We know that 27,300 is still less than 28,000. So it's going to have to be in here somewhere. I already told you that it's broken up into groups of 100. So 100, 200, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's just count 3. Here's 27,100, 27,200, 27,300. They match. So here we go. Mark it. 27,300. Excellent. Let's talk about 26,700. You know that 26,700 is less than 27,000, so it's going to be back here. And you know it's going to be on the 7th line because it's broken up into hundreds. So let's count. 26,100, 26,200, 26,300, 400, 26,500, 26,600, 26,700. It goes right here. It doesn't matter if you write it on top or bottom, just make sure you mark it. 26,700. Please write down any questions that you have for me. We will talk about them tomorrow. Feel free to rewind. That was a lot of information. Please rewind it, rewatch it if you need to, take notes, and write down your questions for me.